Hey everyone, so I wanted to come to you to make a video about how I significantly reduced the pain of my moon. My moon is what I call my period, my menstrual cycle, and if you knew me, my cramps used to be very bad. They used to cripple me pretty much. There'd be points where I just couldn't move and things like that. Also, if you know me, I don't like medicine. I don't like to take medicine. I only go to the doctor when I'm about to die, if all my natural remedies don't work. I come from a Jamaican family, and we believe in a lot of natural remedies, so growing up like that and also learning about the FDA, I just try to stay away from taking medicines that have all these chemicals and all these side effects and different things like that. I don't take any pain medication. I haven't taken any pain medication for my moon since, I want to say almost for like 5 years now. And I just bared it out. Within the past few months, I've noticed that my cramps have gotten significantly better. I cramped very bad on my first day, and I noticed that, the past few months I've been able to get through it. No problem. I feel them, but they're not as debilitating as they used to be. Disclaimer, I am not a medical professional. I am not giving you medical advice. I'm just giving you tips that worked for me. Please do your own research and know what you may or may not be allergic to, because I am going to be talking about some herbs. But listen, I'm not a medical professional. I don't want to kill you. I don't want you to have an allergic reaction, but these are the things that helped me. The first thing that helped me, it might sound corny to some, but I learned to love my body. I'm still not 100% with my entire body, but I learned to love my body and the natural processes that it goes through. I learned to trust my body, to know what to do when certain things happen. Whether it be I'm sick, I know that my body will heal itself if I help it out and I give it rest. So with my moon, I learned to love my womb. Many women look at their menstrual cycle as this evil, bad thing, and I hate when my period comes. It's the ruiner of all good things, and if you hate something, you give it that bad energy is going to come right back. So I learned to love my period. I actually got this book, as you see, I didn't even finish it. I skimmed through it a little bit, but it's a book called Moon Time, and it pretty much connects you with your menstrual cycle, and it helps you celebrate it. Your moon, your period, your menstrual cycle is a very special time. As women, we get to let out all these toxins through our body once a month. Our womb holds life. Our womb is life. And once you receive your moon, when you go through puberty, you become a woman. You're able to have children, and that's beautiful. And a lot of women don't look at it, and I also think it's part of society's way to make women hate themselves. But that's just me. I love my body. I love the things that it can do. I love the things that it will be able to do, like bearing children. And I feel like once I got that my period isn't a bad thing, it started working with me. And I call it my moon also because women's menstrual cycle used to be linked to the moon cycle, and we're supposed to ovulate during the full moon, and we're supposed to shed, aka bleed, on the new moon. So I call it my moon, and it's a term of endearment, like how some guys call their penises names because they love their penis. Some women call their vaginas names because they love their vaginas. I love my moon. I love it. Like, okay, you might hurt a little bit for a day, but then after that, we're all peachy keen. I know what it does and what its purpose is, and I love it. The second thing that I noticed that helped my moon cycle is that I changed my diet. I am a vegetarian. I've been a vegetarian for about a year, and I noticed that my cramps didn't fully go away, but I noticed when I started to eat more vegetables and be more aware of what I'm eating, stopped eating meat, I noticed that my period got lighter. It got a little bit better. And also eating less fats, less salts, especially the week before. Don't do it, because that just adds to your bloating and your cramping and your overall grogginess and not feeling well during, your premenstrual cycle and for your actual shedding of your blood. 3, also to do with your diet, eat plenty of iron-rich foods about the week before. That'll help your moon, function better. You're releasing blood and you need to put all that iron back into your body. So I also noticed that I would get cravings before I would get my period. And even when I became vegetarian, I'm like, I want a burger. And I knew that was my body's way of telling me, hey, you need some iron. So usually I'll try to eat a few meals, at least one meal a day that has some type of broccoli, spinach, kale, something like that, dark leafy greens before my moon cycle, and that helps me out. 4, drink more water. Drink as much water as you can, but don't drink too much because then you will die. But drink a lot of water, because I noticed before when my cramps used to be really bad, my bleeding used to be like I was hemorrhaging, number 1. Number 2, my blood used to be very, 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 very dark, like borderline black. And I was talking to one of my friends who happens to be a licensed chiropractor, and she told me that that's also a sign of your blood not receiving enough oxygen. And now if you think about, if you work out and you don't have enough oxygen, your muscles cramp up, your muscles hurt. So I would drink a lot of water, and I noticed between drinking a lot of water and eating more iron-rich foods, my blood got a lot lighter, and I was so happy. I used to have clots that would come out, like globs that would come out, and that was happening for, I had my period since I was 12. I had that for like 10 years, and I didn't think that it was because my blood was lacking oxygen. So I noticed that, this year I would drink a lot more water, and I'm eating my iron-rich foods, and my blood is coming out free. It's coming out clotless, or just mild little clots, which I still think are just part of the lining that was there in my uterus, and it's so much better. 5, I would say to eat a lot less when you're on your moon cycle. I know you want to eat everything in sight. If you were like me, you want to eat everything in sight once your moon commences, and don't because that puts a lot of pressure on your womb. If you think about it, the more you eat, the more you're gonna have to poop, and the more you have to poop, the more things that are gonna be in your large intestines, which happens to be near your uterus. So that puts more pressure on it, and that might also make it hurt a little bit more. So I would say to drink a lot more fluids and eat less. And I noticed that once I started doing that, I didn't crave as much food anymore. I actually don't like to eat too much during my first 2 days of my cycle, and I don't like to feel that full feeling because I feel like I'm already bloated and gross. So I drink a lot of tea, a lot of ginger tea, and I drink a lot of water, especially my first 2 days of my period. 6, I would have to say move around. Exercise during your first few days or whenever you cramp the most help you out. If you think about it again, when your muscles in your legs, let's say, cramp after you did some exercise, you don't want to sit there. You want to move. You want to stretch that muscle. So move around, walk, jog, run, practice yoga. Just move. Even if you have to pace back and forth in your own living room, keep moving, and that'll keep your blood flowing. That'll keep the oxygen going to those necessary organs that need to shed your blood. And 7, which is last but not least, I use herbs when it comes to my moon. like I said before, I had used tinctures to help out my moon cycle, and I'll describe what a tincture is. The herbs that I used were known to help a woman's womb, and set those, took the tincture along with actually making the tea. I would try to drink the teas about a week before my period and also the first few days, and that helped me significantly. I also would drink cramp bark tea. Cramp bark is very bitter, extremely bitter. No one told me about it. They just said, oh, it works for cramps, it works for your cramps, it makes your cramps last. No one told me that it was extremely bitter, like super bitter. These are the herbs that helped me out. I did prepare tinctures, 2 different ones, and I wrote the ingredients, and when I set them in vodka. Different herbs were dandelion leaf, red raspberry leaf, Motherwort, Nettle. So I also put peppermint in most of my teas, and this is cramp bark. It's very bitter and gross, but it works when it comes to easing the pain of your cramps. And I'll post the description below for what each one does. Doing all of that, all the things that I listed, when I mean, you can ask my roommate. I've been living with her for 1.5 years now, and the past few months I was like, if this is what a moon cycle was supposed to feel like all these years, I wouldn't have minded. I wouldn't have minded it at all. And you know, for me, I decided to take things into my own hands. A lot of people would tell me, oh, you have endometriosis, oh, you have this disease, oh, you have that disease. I was like, oh, no. We are not claiming that in this body. Health belongs in this body, not disease. I take care of my body, I respect my body, I listen to my body, I love my body. So listening to it, you get to figure out, okay, what's gonna make this work? And I made it work for me. And you know, not everyone will get the same results as I. You know, there are people who actually have diseases and that make their periods either extremely heavy or extremely painful, and I would suggest that you do go to a doctor. But you know, I have gone to doctors in the past for problems with my womb. I was premenopausal at one point at the age of 18, and you know, I was on birth control, and it did not work for me. I was spotting all the time, I was bleeding irregularly, and I had to tell myself, like, clearly these drugs are not doing anything for me, and I need to figure out what is wrong with me. And I learned through a lot of research. You know, I had to balance my hormones. Practicing yoga, I balanced all my chakras, and becoming one with my body. That sounds so cliche, but literally becoming one with my body. I've learned how to help my womb and to heal my womb from a lot of the trauma, I'll leave it at that I had experienced in life. And nature is our best medicine, in my opinion. That is my truth. Nature is the best medicine. And we as people need to learn that our bodies know what to do. We need to remember that at one point before all these pharmaceuticals, we had leaves and plants and flowers and bark and sunlight and rest, and we had to walk places to get to where we had to go. And I really do feel that sometimes new isn't always better, and you just have to trust with what you feel is right. And if you feel that going to the doctor and having them prescribe you all these drugs and medicines every month is what you need, then that's what you need. But for me, natural is the way to go. Hopefully you can take something away from here. I have 7 things that works for me. Maybe 1 or 2 things may work for you. Let me know if anything does work out. I would love to hear your comments, your stories about your menstrual cycle, or the things that helped you in your menstrual cycle journey. Please feel free to comment, subscribe, like, share, do whatever you want to do with this video. It's yours. Bye.